Hello Internet, Raphaham here, or Raph, or Raphael, I go by many names. This may be a bit surprising if people actually, subscribe and follow our videos, but I'm actually doing a tea time, which is something I don't really do, because, you may notice, I suck at it. But no, so, firstly, if you hear any noises, probably animals in my room, because I've put Audacity on my computer, taking the mic, doing it up here makes life easier. But that's not what I'm here to talk about. I'm going to talk about Blizzard, I guess. I mean, I'm a huge fan of Blizzard, and I like their games. But to be precise, I'm going to be talking about Hearthstone, which, as I said, I like. It's a very fun, easy, friendly, in my opinion, card game. And it's made great, in my opinion, by the fact that it's online, so that, it makes it easier to sort things out, in theory. And to date this video completely, recently, they introduced Standard and Wild Play. So for anyone who doesn't know, Hearthstone just basically, when it came to the traditional PvP card match, it had ranked and casual, and you could just use all the cards. And basically people found meta and all that, as people do with these things, and it was starting to become a bit stale. So they introduced Wild and Standard. Wild, let's use whatever cards. Still got the card limit, but you can use any card. And Standard is basically limited, and it will change each year as to what cards can be used. I believe Standard cards will always be usable, and it's supposed to be cards that were released from the 2 years previously, as far as I'm aware. And it will change system each year kind of thing, just to keep things a bit fresher. That's the idea. I was like, oh, that's a really nice idea, because it is. I'll stick with Wild Play personally, especially with the new expansion pack being the Old God and introducing Siphon or Cthulhu, however you want to say it. I hate him. I hate all his cards revolving around him. But that's not what I'm going to complain about. More importantly, when they introduced this change, they decided to remove the ability to buy card packs from the cards that, from the expansions that are not usable in Standard Play. I was like, that is stupid. Because now I can't buy the Goblin vs. Gnome card packs. And that upsets me a lot, because I wanted them. But I was like, I can still make them using the dust, so I'll live with that. What has, however, annoyed me is they've also prevented people from buying Naxxramas, which, for those who don't know, they introduced a solo mode called the Solo Adventures. And it was basically, you would buy the wings to these dungeons, and it'd be like you were fighting the raid bosses in World of Warcraft, but with cards, in a card game. And all the bosses were kind of themed after the raid instance, and the decks were meshed around with it, and there's an awesomely hilarious commentary, in my opinion. Especially from Kel'Thuzad in Naxxramas. It's hilarious. But they've stopped, unless you already have one wing of Naxxramas, you can no longer buy any wings of Naxxramas. And they've made the cards you get from the Naxxramas craftable using dust. Now, there's a few problems with this. One, even if you do already have the wing, you can only purchase the other wings with gold. And that's just kind of like silly on their part, in my opinion, because it's, stopping them from getting money. They could just get people to pay for them, but they've decided to make it, I guess, in a sense, harder to get, which confused me. Then there's the problem, they put a fair amount of work into that content, and they're just denying new people to experience that content. In my opinion, it's really good content and would make for a great way to introduce people to like lore and, in a weird way, to World of Warcraft. And it's just fun, and now people just can't do it, and they won't be able to experience it, and I feel that is a waste of their time, a waste of their resources, and a waste in general. Like, people can have so much fun with that stuff. I've seen a lot of people on like forums and such say ideas to kind of, still allow people to experience it without anything necessarily going wrong. By like, someone's suggestion was making it so you can get it for free, but you don't get any of the cards from it, which could work. Or just making it available for everyone with in-game gold. I think that would work. But yeah, that Blizzard decided to basically just shut off content for those things, and I think that's incredibly stupid. Oh yeah, one of the other problems with it, Dust is not a one-for-one trade. So like in physical card games, you would trade a card and get a card of, varying price, but you could get a card that was like the same price. In this, when you have like extra cards, or if you just don't want a card, you can disenchant it for dust, which can then be used to make other cards for people that don't know. But you only get like a quarter of the value of the actual card. So for example, crafting a legendary card out of dust costs like 1,600 dust, but you only get 400 from disenchanting a legendary, I think. It's a bit wishy-washy. And so it's really expensive to craft those cards, which is going to mean new people that come in won't really be able to experience wild play. And they'll be just stuck to standard play pretty much, because they won't be able to get the old cards as easily. Pretty much not at all, because they'll be too busy trying to get standard cards to get more money, to get more cards, to dust them, to, get the old cards. And I think, yet again, that's a waste of opportunity, because the Hearthstone's supposed to be open to a lot of people. Like, it's supposed to be like a friendly card game, in a sense, that even people who aren't very good at these things can pick it up and learn to play it. But now they're kind of limited. They can't have the full experience of the game because you just can't get that stuff. At least I'm pretty sure it's like fully activated now. And it just kind of really annoys me. Like, I want people to be able to fully experience the joy of Hearthstone, and Blizzard are denying people that right. And I don't think they've even necessarily said why they've stopped people from purchasing these cards. Some people have, from what I've seen on forums and such, have suggested that the reason Blizzard have stopped selling them is because some people are stupid and don't read, or like look things up, and they're afraid. Some people think Blizzard are afraid people would buy Naxxramas or buy the Goblin vs Gnomes card packs and then realise they can't use them in standard play and then complain and God knows what else, demand money back and all that stupid stuff. And that honestly wouldn't surprise me. But there's simple solutions for that. Yet again, I saw these in forums. People said just put a label on it that says wild only, or have a second side of the shop which sells, like, it's called the Wild Shop, and it sells old content, like, that can only be used in wildcard games and such. And I'm hoping Blizzard do that, because I think they're throwing away perfectly good content, and it doesn't do them any favours. In fact, I think it hurts Hearthstones, in general. It doesn't benefit it at all. I can't see how it benefits it. I've seen some people cheer about it, but it's like, yeah, Standard vs. Wild play is a great idea, but the removal of content, well, in effect, the removal of content is not a good idea. And I mean, the game's online, for crying out loud. It's not that hard to keep content. And, like, there's not even necessarily a reason to get rid of it. It's not like the game's evolved in a way where the Naxxramas dungeon has become something completely new, like vanilla WoW going to Cataclysm and Miss Pandaria and whatever, and the changes made to old areas. That's because those areas are evolving. Naxxramas didn't evolve into anything, they just took it away. So I basically just wanted to make this video to complain, because I really don't like the change, and I want old content to be available, and I want to collect all the cards, and now my life's just harder doing that. I mean, I don't exactly have much money to spend on Hearthstone, because there's lots of other things that I need to spend money on. So I quite liked being able to get those cards through gold, but they just buggered me. So yeah, that's basically it. All I have to say, really. Like, if people want to express their opinions, they can. I just wanted to complain, and I think I've rambled on long enough, so I'll leave you all to it. Have a good day, internet, and remember, tea times, drink tea. I have tea right now. Go get a cup of tea, it'll make your life better. And Blizzard, put your old content back in, dudes.